the stream had done exactly what it should have done. It had. We are going to copy that link, put it to the main server announcements. And sort that out. GT7 Esports. And tag out everyone. Alright, that's that put in. I am now going to put a message in stating that we are there is. There should be. Resetting time of day. Now. And we can go one to late morning. And then one back to early. And we're back to where we were. Yeah, it will in 1 second. I'm just fixing. All right, we got people that we needed. I'll just put in that one, chicane. Last time, welcome everyone to week 7 of ALR Esports. I'm just sorting this out. Who are we waiting on? With 4 minutes to go, there's 14 people in the lobby. That would be the case. So we have everyone that we need to have in the lobby right now. Miu is going to join us, or Miu, whichever way you want to say it, is going to join us post-qualifying. Yasar might not be able to. We will figure this out as we go along. We are starting at 7:50 UK time. You can see at the top of the screen, it currently says 19:48 or 7:48 in the evening. We go in 2 minutes. We'll do 10 minutes worth of qualifying, and then we'll give it about 10 minutes to see if NWR can get their drivers into the lobby in time. If not, then we go without them. In terms of the standings, let's see if where BX has put them. BX has put them there. So it is the top 5 that happened from the 6 weeks we just watched. That come into today's race and next week's race. Those 5 teams are FGR, NWR, Project Platypus, Inferno Motorsport, and 2 Oil Kingdoms. The points totals for those teams in order are 540 for FGR, 453 for NWR, 401 for Project Platypus, 391 for Inferno, and 340 for 2 Oil Kingdoms. Right. With that being said, FGR are going to need a monumental collapse to not win this one from here. The catch, with 2 races to go, and everyone's thinking, yeah, the championship's all over already, but the catch is that these 2 races in particular are 1.5 times the length of a normal ALR Esports race through week 1 to 6. They're done at 125 miles total. I believe this is 187.5 miles around the track. It is also worth double points. Just for quirking our esports, our esports that we like to parade about. I'll put a starting soon in there. But yeah, it's worth double points, so the championship is not even close to over yet. However, a good night here from FGR could pretty much seal the deal. However, there is no aura to it this time. There is no aura, but in the same boat, there's 2 of the 3 missing from this one is not normal. Is it not? No, it isn't. Why are you confusing me, MXT? This is not double points. This is double points. That's why we split it off. You're confusing me. No, this one is not normal points. No. This is double points. Don't make me lose my mind, MXC. Please, thank you. Yeah, it's double points because it's split in. Yeah, because we do 1.5 times, but we do 2 separate races. Yeah. Okay, so this one is double points. Let me be, MXC. This one is double points. The next one is double points. FGR has a very good advantage. It is not close to being sealed up to this point. Right. We all caught up now. We all caught up. It double points this race. It's 1.5 times the length for that reason. Right, we are going. Starting qualifying. Now that I've been confused appropriately. Yeah, now we have been confused appropriately. I'm now going to Alright, we're off to qualify now then. Let's see what we can deal with here. So we've got 14 people on the board. Always a good time with you, MXC. Always a great time. Yeah, no, it is double points. Just to put that out there, it is double points. I am not going insane. It's 1.5 times the length of a normal race. It is double points value for the entirety of the grid. Hence why we only have the 5 teams from now. We'll see what people can do. That also means it's double points for qualifying. So we'll see who can get themselves on top in this session. Screw you, Wack. Could have helped me out there. You just chose not to. We've got Honor, so Honor's the first one out. Oh, new person that's first out that isn't BX for once. Who would have guessed? Don't actually remember the last time that actually happened. I'm also going to get Gident's Discord messages up to me because your boy might have might actually have a keyboard to use this time as well. This is where I'm going to figure out whether or not it's going to be used, whether or not I can use it or not. But yeah, Arno currently going through. I'm just trying to figure out what is what. But yeah, we come through. Arno now starting his lap. See, this is what happens when you get in only 35 minutes before the start of a race and trying to figure out what's going on from left, right and centre at this point. But yeah, Hono's currently on the lap first, so BX after that, and then Syndra after that, as we go through the first sector at Fuji for the first time at racing speed tonight. We'll see what the benchmark is going to be. This is coming up. We've just gone through the end of the first sector. Now we're going through the twisty part of the track toward the end of the second sector with Ono here. And this is the end of the second sector, right as they turn towards what is usually a chicane here at Fuji. But we are using the short layout this time around so that it is a little bit quicker around the track, and also because we used the chicane layout a couple seasons ago. For those who have been around a long time, I mean, aware of the slim incident with Perry that day. Direct and Project Platypus driving around the track, competing for glory. This time, it is not going to be those teams. Zarix have not made the top 5 for the first time in ALR history, and Project Platypus not going for glory, but they are currently in third place. Ono to the line, 1:35.0. BX 1:34.1. Syndra after that, 34.6. Harlex has a penalty. His lap time will not register. Who's going to be after that? It's Mortal and Matty to the line. These two have not done anything resembling a time. 35.0 for Nick as he goes over the line. Berger 34.6. Perry 34.3. Project Platypus off to a great start. Matty and Jensen will need an extra lap to sort themselves out, but right now we are 1, 2, 3 in favour of Project Platypus. And you know how I said earlier that a monumental collapse would be necessary for FGR to lose it from here? Well, this would be a very good start if you're Project Platypus. They are, yeah. Well, only to put it into reference, in terms of points done, and points already given out, I believe we're like only halfway in the amount of points you can get in the season. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe a little bit less, sorry. Maybe about 40%. I know BX did the calculations once upon a time on that list. But, yeah, there is a long way to go in terms of these races. Mortal's off the track. Pulled off ahead of Matty and Jensen. Comes back on now then, and we'll see what he will be able to do on the next lap. But for now, we're following these two as they're on their first proper laps here around Fuji. Both did 140s in the last one, so you can tell that they must have had some sort of problem. 33.9 for BX now. Entire second quicker than Ono in front of him. Syndra 34.3. As we got Matty and we've got Jensen to the line. Someone is off the track entirely in the background there. Nick 34.6. Jensen and Matty to the line now. And it is a 33.7 for Jensen, and Matty in third with 34.0. Let's see if there's anything in this for Millers and for Rabak. In the prototype, I'm still definitely going to try and figure out where G sent me the stuff for how it would all work on a keyboard, because I used it and don't have time to actually get used to it. We continue on here with Millis to the line then. Let's see what Millis can put up for the first time tonight. Is there going to be anything in this one for him? To the line, 32, 33, 34, 34.2, and it's currently NWR followed by Project Platypus, followed by 2 FGR drivers. They are just starting to get together. Yeah, absolutely, just starting to put things together now, FGR. I'm actually going to tag Ross real quick. See if I can find Ross and have him. But yeah, right. I've sent that message out. We'll figure it out as we go along now. Then Matty dropped back to the pits. Perry is on an outlap. Millis still on a flying line. We'll actually stay with Millis now then for the time being, and then see if he can do anything after that. Might just be trying to dive into the pits. We've got about 3 minutes left on the clock here. Not sure if there's going to be enough time to make a pit stop actually with all this. Less than 3 minutes, about 2.5 minutes left on the clock. If he is going to run a pit stop, he's going to run the clock very, very close. It doesn't look like he is going to dive in, so here comes another lap time for Millis then. To the line he goes, the German driver for FGR with a hold on the championship at the moment. Drive to the line in a 34.2, and it's still not good enough to move him anywhere out of 4. Hello. Hans. Appreciate that, Hans. I'm going to try and figure it out as well. See if I can actually figure it out before we get to race time. But yeah, either way, Millis just driving at the moment. Who's the closest one on the lap right now? Skyline. All these guys are going to have to find themselves some space here, because this is going to turn into a massacre otherwise. What is everyone doing in this group? Everyone is really bunched up. I'm not entirely sure why. They try and get the slipstream down the line here, but you got to pray that you're not too quick to catch up on the car in front. Otherwise, you're going to just cause problems for yourself and the car involved as well. 34.3 for Berger, 34.7 for Mortal. So Berger has moved up into the top 5, I believe. 34.7 for Rabak, and that will push him up just a little bit. So actually, Berger's moved into 7th now, and Rabak only good enough for 12th. As it stands, Mortal at the back of the grid. Jensen involved. We got who to the line next? So it's Millis to the line. He just picked up a 35.8, so he is now on his final flying lap. Let's see who is next to the line after that. It is Harlex for Two Oil Kingdoms, who is coming up to the line very, very, very wide down. Kind of just shoved himself onto the painted tarmac on the outside. Should get one more shot at this, though. Everyone else probably going to run out of time. Harlex, he really hasn't got anything on that one, so he's going to go one last time. Who is the next one to the line? There's Sindra, but who's the car in front of Sindra? Car in front of Sindra is Ono. Ono to the line now. Is there an improvement for Ono? Did not look like it. Sindra, not improving either. We are on the final lap for all the drivers now. In the back of the field, here we go. 5 or 6 drivers all at one time. Perry, then Matty. Perry backs out. Matty backs out. I think that was Matty backing out. I'm not entirely sure. Perry definitely backed out. Mortal afterwards. Matty, 33.8. Mortal improves. There's improvement there for Riga and for Berger as well, who just put himself on top. Nothing there for Jensen. Skyline, BX has run out of chances there as well. He's got damage to the back. Skyline with 34.3. And everyone was just running improvements at the end, and it looks like it might be Inferno that might come out on top here. We've still got a couple of cars to the line. Millis is one of them. He's coming. He's not going to be able to do anything about that lead, which leaves us with one more driver, and it's Harlex. As he comes round this final sector now, Berger in a perfect position to pick up 4 points. For Inferno, as he looks to get himself on pole. Jensen, the only NWR driver, on a good run. He desperately needed that pole position points, though, to try and close that gap on FGR. And Harlex does improve, but it really isn't an improvement of anything remotely enough to get to the front. There we go, 33.718 for Berger on pole. Then Jensen 33.741. And then they both beat out Matchy by over a second and a half, tenth and a half, sorry. If you're Berger and Matty in third, then BX on a 33.9 in fourth, Mortal in fifth, then Millis in sixth, Perry seventh, Syndra 8th, Skyline 9th, Riga in 10th, Harlex in 11th, Ono in 12th, and Rabak at the back of the grid. For those who actually qualified right now, we will be joined shortly by Mumu at the very least, so Rabak will have the benefit of starting one from the back. The bad news is his fight is immediately with the team that it needs to beat to just to hold that championship at arm's length from NWR. We are going to take a short break here. We're going to have about 5-10 minutes to allow for NWR to try and sort out any sort of drivers trying to join us. But until then, we will just talk about a few things. But yeah, we got a very interesting end to the season here. And then we've got, obviously, next season starting to just just starting to get things going for that just a little bit now. So, yeah, everything is going pretty good. I finally actually put in more Old's car. Took a while. Just put this in so that way we can get ourselves going here before sooner rather than later. But yeah, we're just waiting to see if we can get a couple of extra drivers, try and get as close to a full lobby as we can get with the drivers, just to make sure that this championship is as fair as possible for everyone involved. But yeah, we got about 5 more minutes of waiting. And I think that might be one of the drivers that we were waiting on. I'm going to very quickly take a screenshot of these so I don't get this wrong. Yeah, end this one. So then I can set it up this way. Early morning still set by host. Everything else should still be the same. Yeah, everything else should still be the same here. We are going to very quickly change the settings. I will set the grid. Once everyone starts to get in, we've got one of the NWR drivers in, so that's Mumu in for us. And we'll see if Yasar can kind of sneak in as well, but I don't bet on it, to be completely honest with you. Jensen and Mortal, when they get back, I am going to very quickly start moving this grid around though. I can do it back to front and be perfectly fine. There's Rabak, who qualified just in front. Mumu starting from the back as he did not do any qualifying at all. Ono and then Harlex. That's Ono. Harlex after that. Then it is Nick and Skyline. Skyline. And then it is Syndra, Perry. Apologize if the screen keeps flicking on and off. I need to see the the pictures so I can actually put things where they need to be. That's Miller's. Mortal BX. And Matty and thing, and then Jensen and company will slip in as then when they get back. When Jensen and Mortal get back, we'll get going. Mortal and Jensen are both there. Mortal should be just in front of Miller's. Mortal 5th, yep. And then Matty and Jensen 2nd. Perry dominance could bore fans. Perry's doing pretty good, to be honest with you. But yeah. We're just gonna tell him. I'm not. Oh my god. Alright. We're just gonna wait a couple minutes. Hopefully, Yasar gets back because we aren't waiting longer than necessary. Technically, qualifying ended at 02, so we should be going in the next minute or so. Yeah, Berger's putting an absolute flyover lap, to be completely honest with you. Absolute flyover lap, to be completely honest. It was pretty good, pretty good. I do. I did this. I'm just messing around with wires while we wait a couple minutes. I prefer you not flash up who's using this headset because I am using this headset. Nothing changed. Right, let's see if this works. What's the chances of something actually working at the first attempt? I don't think there is very many. It never does. I'm hoping for some weather as well, to be completely honest with you. Well, Jensen in the chat saying something very different. I'm so confused. Which one is it? Because he just said in Discord... I was about to say, he just said in Discord he won't. Jensen's saying he will. Hold on. I'll message you. Yeah. We're gonna go. Yeah, we're gonna go now. I apologize to Yasar and to NWR. but he has actively said otherwise, so... There's one more setting check. Then get going. We're going to start the race. And boys, I think we've actually got it. So I now need to take a very quick second to double check this when we get into the actual race. We're going to see if we have some replays. Because we might actually have it for the first time this entire season. We will see. Alright, 2, 3, 4 red lights. There's 5 red lights. Here we go, and it's lights out and away we go. Berger's off better than Jensen, that's for certain. I think the FGR boys have got off to a flyer themselves. Matty to the lead of the race off the start. Jensen looking to the inside, trying to get himself involved. BX also overtaken and trying to take the lead of the race. He's got up in a second. Jensen's currently in third. He's currently setting himself a good standard. Perry looking to the inside on Millis potentially here. Millis keeping himself involved, keeping himself ahead of Perry for now. Berger from first to sixth. What an awful start of the race for him, as him and Mortal are going side by side in the twisty part of the track. And Berger potentially are just about to get under switchback there, but not to be in the end for Mortal, as Harlex and Mortal are now going side by side. Going back a little bit further forward, Matty from BX. Here we go. We've seen these two race a few times before. Matty used to be in the same tier as BX in the Monday Leagues, but we'll see if BX can best him here. And Jensen also looking to get involved. BX just trying to get himself out in front, not able to do it now. Jensen's going to poke his nose up the inside and try and get himself back in a second. He gets a good job of it for now, but BX with the tighter line in the final corner of the lap, well and truly makes it that much more difficult for Jensen, and Project Platypus will steal back second. FGR 1 and 4 right now is a very good opportunity to try and win the title. That's a certain to try and open up that gap to unassailable points. Right now we're heading down the straight. Jensen's going to have a real good run on the outside of BX here. And BX also trying to have a run on Matty, but that's not going to materialise, and we are, as we were at the front, at the end of the beginning of lap 2. And Millis and Perry and Berger looking to make his way back. He's now going to the outside on Perry, who's just not going to be able to keep his car on track that much there. Berger is definitely starting to fight his way back. He got the long way round. If he can keep a nose in here, actually he might be under 5 from Alex, who'd gone a little bit deep, and that will give Berger the chance to hold on. And they do exactly that. Look at that. That's a well-defended drive from Perry, and then well-defended from Berger as well. Alex is trying to get himself involved. Further forward, nothing really going here through the front four. Mortal ahead of Rabak, who's in 9th. Then you've got Ono, and then you've got Mumu up in 11th already. As NWR need a very good race out of both their drivers, and even then, it might not be enough to chunk into to try and take any out of the lead from FGR. Cinder in 11th, Skyline in 13th, Nick in the back. We got Matty here, still ahead of BX. Still ahead of BX for now. It doesn't look like BX is going to go for this down into turn 1. Realistically, should eventually, because we got Millis and Jensen. We're going to see if we have a replay for the first time here. I think we have. This is me trying to figure out how the actual buttons work. I apologise for that. Ah, so it's Z and V. Okay, well, we're not going to get to see that overtake from Millis on Jensen. I know now for the future that it's both of them together. Jensen and Millis looking at each other, the front two starting to build a gap away from the group. We'll see if there's going to be anything in this in terms of overtaking. Right now, just a procession between the two. BX looking for the lead. BX had the lead. And he's taken it off of the FGR boys that are currently 2 and 3. The very good start for BX here. Let's have a look at the tyres on each car. So it's soft for the front 4, 5, 6. It's soft for everyone at the start here. Nobody went the alternate strategy. Okay, so every single person is on a soft tyre to start with. It's a very interesting call. I don't think we've ever actually seen very many changes, very many times where every team agrees with the same thing to start with. That's a definite rarity. Matty trying to go back, but it really isn't going to be able to do anything there at all on BX. So BX will hold on for now in the Aston Martin. We've got Matty in second, Millis in third, Jensen in fourth, Perry in behind that in fifth, with Berger still very much on his ass as we go through the first 4 laps of this race. It is 67 laps along of this, so we are going to be here for a very long time. Apologise for the Europeans now, because if you're 2 hours ahead of the UK time, you might be running well past midnight. Here comes Berger, looking to the inside of Perry. Again, just nothing going on that inside line. Perry doing enough to defend well. Right now, Perry having to defend again. Inferno just trying to make a move, just not really being able to do anything off the start, where Berger lost all of the places after starting on pole position. We'll see whether or not there's going to be enough of an opportunity for Berger at some point in the next lap or two. I think he may have the opportunity now, to be completely honest with you. He might have the opportunity now. Here we go down the straight. It's going to open up for him if he can get to the inside for turn 1. He's actually using maybe a little bit of a bump draft to try and catch up to Jensen. Perry moves to the inside to defend. Berger comes across as well. Now Berger's going to have to use the outside. Matty and Millis in front have just gone for an overtake there. And those two have switched positions. So Millis have gone up into second. We'll go and have a look. Actually, we'll keep an eye out on this one here, because very close in the fighting between the front, 4th and 8th, 4th and 7th here actually, with Harlex in the back of the shot. Matty has managed to break a second gap in this one already. Berger finally also got past Perry in all of this as well. So Perry overtaken by Berger. He's under 5 from Harlex. He might be dropping back just a little bit now. Rabak's in 8th as well. FGR has had a very, very good start. Although they're going to try and hope that they can continue this on as long as possible. We'll continue to see if they can. I wonder when we're going to get the first set of pit stops. That's the real question I've got here. I wonder when we're going to get the first set of actual pit stops. I don't know. Right now we're not even halfway in the fuel of some of these cars, so maybe we're looking, what, 12, 13 laps maybe before we see your first pit stop? That could get very interesting. We might still be in for a 2-stop if that's the scenario. It might be a 3-stop actually in that case. But Jensen just going a little bit deep there and he still holds on from Berger nonetheless. Matty now being pulled in by the Mazda. Millis needs to try and get away to use Matty as a little bit of a buffer, because right now they are starting to get themselves in and around that Ferrari. BX has also got himself a sizable lead out front. I reckon if you're Project Platypus, you are absolutely loving that sentence. Been a while since Project Platypus have been in the running. They've done it for a few races in a row now, so they'd look to try and put 2 and 2 together for the next season in particular, if they can try and build some momentum now. Berger still trying to find his way into the position where he can overtake Jensen. Jensen's trying to do the same on Matty. Matty might come under some heavy fire in the next couple of laps here from the two behind. It might be even worse if he's going to go that wide and that slidey into the second and last, because now they are really on the back of him. They are now half a second between them and Matty in front. If Berger can use Jensen here, they might be able to push right up into overtaking range on Matty with a couple of bump drafts. Here comes Berger to the inside, potentially even on Jensen. Matty pulls out to try and get Berger alongside. And Berger's up ahead. He might get both. And he will get both. Well, he will for now anyway. Matty's still got his nose on the inside. Contact between the two of them as they head through turn 2. Matty's gone a little bit deep out of 3. But he is still ahead of the South African nonetheless. Jensen, if he could have got that corner right, had the potential to follow through a gigantic hole, which Berger is now going to cover off. But in turn, Berger's going to go again because Matty went a little bit deep. And Berger is going to get a significantly better run. And again, just not enough to try and steal that third place off of him. But he's going to have a run on the outside here, down towards the bottom of the hill. Jensen also looking to get involved, will now get involved on the inside. We've got 4 or 5 cars on the inside of each other here. Berger's on the outside now. He's in trouble. Perry just hit the back of him. Berger's lost out to Jensen. And the 5 or 6 cars scuffle here continues on. I think that's Rabat getting himself involved in the background. A beautiful shot of him going to the inside of Harlex. And up ahead of Harlex he will go. If they were together here, they could really, really push on Matty. At the end of the day, FGR should be the common enemy. Here we go, Jensen around the outside. Here comes Berger as well. They got 5 or 6 cars in a run. And Perry's trying to go to the inside of Jensen of all this, but he is going to get Berger nonetheless. Or is he? Berger and Perry side by side down towards turn 3. And Berger with the inside line should get this, and Berger will defend that 5th position like his life depends on it. Absolutely insane battling from the middle of the field here. And look at this, there's 7 or 8 cars all right beside each other. Because even though, actually BX must have had a bit of a problem because Millis is now 4 seconds up the road. Millis is 4 seconds up the road. BX has joined the group and, that's not good news for Project Platypus. It's absolutely ecstatic news if you're FGR. Because you're holding back NWR right now. You're holding back Jensen. There is no room for him to go past on Matty. And until right about now, actually, he might try and go the distance here, the long way round at the final corner. Switchback attempt here for Jensen. Oh, it is beautiful. It is beautiful. And Jensen up ahead of Matty. The real question now is, had he gone too quickly? Had he gone one corner too early? He's now going to have to defend from Matty and from Berger as well. They head down towards turn 1. There's the first move from Jensen. He moves to the inside line. Matty is trying desperately to make a move. And Berger's just going to say absolutely none of this. And he gets himself around the outside. And Jensen's going to lose out on both potentially already. Berger's on the outside. Berger loses out. Matty goes back in a third for a split second because Jensen has now got the run. And Jensen gets back in front, back in a third. Absolute mayhem and battling here. Matty up down in the 4th. The floodgates may open there. But for now, Berger's going to be the one that has a shot at him. Rabat is up in the 6th as well. Or was up in the 6th for a split second. Perry and Harlex are looking to his inside now. These two are going side by side. Perry hit the Perry and Rabat contact on both of them. They both are at 6 in one, half a dozen in the other there through the corners. Right now, Rabat is going to hold on. The only bad news here for Rabat is that Mumu is not that far behind him. The entire grid right now, outside of Millis and outside of last place, are right here. They're all in this train now. Here comes Mumu round the outside. on Perry. You got Alex in the last corner as well, but he's under fire now. And Mumu's just going to lose out. I would go back to replay, but these guys are going to fight it down the straight. It's going to be 3 or 4. Mumu down the straight has got the outside line. He's got himself an advantage on Perry right now with Alex on the inside, who theoretically should be the leading car of the three out the end of this first turn. Here comes Alex with Perry, and Alex covers Perry off for a split second. He's still there. They're still side by side. Alex is still there with Perry. They're still wheel banging as they head into turn 3. The very short line for Alex, and Perry's in trouble now as well. Perry went very deep. There was contact between him and Alex. Mumu is trying to get himself in front. I don't know why I keep saying his name like that. It's not how it's said. And he's got himself in front of Alex nonetheless. Perry's gone very deep on the exit of that corner. That might incur a half-second time penalty. We'll wait and see if that's going to get penalised. Mumu's up in 8th. If he can get himself past Perry, which he is going to get the shot to do here, and he has got in front of Perry for a split second. Perry's got the inside line. A nice little fight back, but I don't think it's going to last too long. Mumu's just got himself on the inside, and he's here to stay up in a 7th. But now he's going to get himself a real nice clean shot. If he can get a little bit of a gap to Perry here in the final corner, he'll get himself a clean shot at Raback in the lap or two. Matty is also in 5th in all this battle, so his FGR just starting to fall down the order a little bit. Berger here right in front of Matty. Jensen 2 seconds up the road. We have started to see that if you don't have that slipstream, the gaps are just starting to form. Berger not defending Matty to the inside here. Raback has just decided that I'm not having any of that and drops back to the outside line. A lot of wheel banging there between Berger and Matty. Matty gets back in a 4th. It doesn't look like Matty had a great time out of turn 2 there. We'll see if that's going to affect him out of turn 3. It doesn't look like it has. Right, so Mumu has got himself a little bit clear of Alex behind Perry. Perry still being a nuisance on the back of him, however. But that gap from 2.6 has now dropped to 1.9, so the gap is closing in from the rear pack all the way back to Raback. And I think the NWR would absolutely adore the points coming their way if they can, have Raback get caught right back up with this pack again. Front of the group just starting to get control of this one. I don't know if they're catching back up the Millers. We'll take a look in a second and see if they are, because Berger to the inside of Matty. Oh, it is brave and it's beautiful. Matty never made it to the inside and was never going to make it back to the track. And well, if you're going to move on to that curb, you're going to get punished. And that's exactly what Berger did to him. Matty knows as well as anybody right now that you've got to get some wheels inside that white line. Otherwise, you are going to be in trouble in terms of getting back on the track. And of course, Berger is going to get himself a nice little opportunity there. Raback up in the 5th. Matty's the first one into the pits. An absolute incredible race to start here. We're a little bit further forward. Millis has a 5-second advantage over BX and Jensen, who need to work together realistically to catch this group, to catch Millis out front. Then got Raback, Berger ahead of Raback in 4th and 5th, with Mumu very much ahead of Perry. Is closing down that gap on the FGR man very quickly. Alex after that. Then you've got Perry down into 8th. We'll actually see if we can get a view on what happened to Perry. It looked like he was already back after all that. Fair enough. Looks like an unfortunate scenario there that was unfolding. Let's see if we're going to have anything here. We're going to have that flashing warning come up in a second about the fuel, I'm pretty sure. Yep, that's the fuel. So as per, we're going to do that to get rid of it. Yeah, I did buy myself. I did hold my promise. I did get myself a keyboard. I did do it. I am learning how to use it, so it's going to be a bit wonky for this week in particular. Here comes Jensen to the inside on BX. Can he get it done? It doesn't look like he can. The acceleration that Aston Martin's just going to hold BX in front for now. Yeah, we do have the ability to get replays back now, but if it is a bit shoddy for the first couple of weeks, I do apologise. Straight up, absolutely do apologise. But yeah, we go through. Raback still behind Berger. That really hasn't changed. We go down the list. Perry still behind Harlex as well. Mortal after that. Everyone's tired, just starting to fall off a little bit. Another set of soft for Matty as he comes in. As he came in, Mumu is on another set of soft as well. That gap sits about 6 seconds between the two. A lot more fuel that's gone in the car here for Mumu than it has been for Matty, however. We're going to have to very much keep an eye out on that and see how the strategies start to unfold. Rieger at the back. Not really doing much of anything in this one. In comes Jensen, in comes BX. We've got a few pits now. Mortal and I think that's Ono are both coming in. Yep, Ono, Mortal actually also comes in with Perry as well. And Harlex in front of that. So there's 6 people who pit at the end of that lap there. Millers has a 10-second advantage to Berger at the front, who is starting to clear Raback ever so slightly lap on lap. They're both going to come in at the end of the lap. So we'll see how much it is after that. Until then, we've got to figure out where everyone's come out. Perry, Harlex, all of them coming out the pits now. They're behind Skyline. They're actually potentially ahead of Mumu here. Mumu doesn't want to get caught back up in this. And I fear that he might have. They put in a lot less fuel than him. But he is right up behind Perry again. That's not good news. At all in the slightest here. For the silhouette. He's got to get himself back in front. Pronto. See how much of a gap he can try and snap away. From the Skyline. Then you've got Jensen, who's 7/10 of a second behind Matty. Jensen went on a little bit more fuel than Matty did at this point in time. So the strategies are just starting to bear a little bit from each other. We'll see if that continues to be the case as we go along. Different cars doing different strategies is not too surprising. Let's see if anything is coming out of this. Jensen down to the line. Berger, Raback into the pits. Those two into the pits now. Berger is very much fueling up already. Sindra into the pits as well. So that leaves us with 3 that haven't come out yet. Actually, 2 that have. 1 that actually hasn't pit yet. That one being Millers, who has a 33-second advantage at the moment. BX had a 3-second advantage over Matty, so it's probably similar amount of fuel those two have put in together. Seems to be the case. We'll see if Matty can do anything about this. Jensen is really closing him in. The longer this goes, the better it is. For Jensen, if he can get past Matty, he can try and get himself back towards BX. That's where he was prior. 3/10 of a second split these two. 33 seconds further up the road to Millis. And Skyline hasn't pit either yet in 5th. But we've got a battle from about 4 or 5 different cars yet again. As we head toward the final sector of the lap, Mumu is ahead of Perry. Millis is finally into the pit with nothing left in the tank. We'll see if there's going to be anything in this final couple of corners. in this battle. Millis is going to come out. The real question is how much is he going to come out on and whereabouts is he going to be? I assume he's still going to come out in the lead of this race. There's a penalty in the background. We'll have a look who that's for. I think it's for Harlech. Actually, no, it's for Syndra behind. And it's Millis going on to medium tyres. So that's the first one of those, I think, we've seen today. And that means BX is going to come out in the lead of this race. 3 seconds ahead of Jensen. We're going to have a very quick look to see if we can have a replay of this. And Jensen, there you go, just on the outside. Or the inside of the straight, sorry, heading down the pit wall. Getting out, and there's Millis for a 3-second time penalty! That's Millis for a 3-second time penalty as well, and that is massive! That gap that he had may have just fallen by the wayside a little bit. 3 seconds worth of penalties off the pit lane. And this race has just got a lot closer. Good news for Millis, however, is he's gone onto the mediums early, which means his stint is going to be done and out of the way before they even have to do anything. Everyone else will have to be on that medium tyre, obviously. Will happen eventually, but he's going to have to wait his turn for that. Skyline is right behind him. Skyline must have pit really early or pit on that last lap. I'm not entirely sure how, where or when. But Skyline is up into 5th at the moment. Actually, legitimately up into 5th at the moment. There goes Millis off the racing line, serving his 3-second time penalty. The real question is, how many people are going to get ahead of him? There goes Skyline. Is he coming back up the racing speed? He is going to come back up the racing speed, but he is going to get overtaken by Berger. As Berger goes to the inside there and gets it done, and he is now in arm's reach of the group behind. Perry and Mumu just trying to get themselves involved there. If they can get Millis, they will throw a massive spanner in the works. A spanner in the works I don't think they would have been expecting about 5 laps ago when they were comfortably in the lead. We'll see if that is going to happen. It isn't going to happen on this lap, however. Berger comfortably ahead of Millis now, 1.3 seconds that gap. Don't forget they're on soft compared to the mediums for Millis now. I think that is everyone on the soft compared to the mediums of Millis. So let's have a look. BX currently 3.5 seconds up the road on Jensen. All 3 of the front 3 on soft tyres. Same for Skyline in 4th, Berger in 5th, Millis in 6th. Mumu in 7th is on soft. Millis is on medium, sorry. Everyone else should be on the soft tyre, I believe. Oh, no, mediums for Rabak, mediums for Ono, and for Riga at the back as well. So the 3 at the back are all on mediums. Millis on mediums, the rest of the group very much on the soft tyre. So we'll see how that develops as we continue on then. Could be very interesting to see how the strategies play out, because we've finally seen our first deviants in this one. Very quickly, just take a scroll down and see what we can find. And they get my first drink in a few hours. Oh, I've just spilled it all over my hand. That's incredible. Right, Millis, about 0.6 of a second up on Mumu. That's incredible. That's incredible. And Perry in behind that. They're all just catching up to the medium tyre right now. They could take chunks out of his time. We'll see if they are going to do it. It's going to be very interesting here. As soon as one gets past Millis, you'd like to think a lot of them are going to get past Millis. Millis is going to get held up. I don't know how much he's going to get held up, because obviously the 3-second time penalty is not a 3-second time penalty. It's more in the region of 5 or 6 seconds worth of penalties there. That'll bring his gap to BX and Co. all the way down in terms of where they were before the pit lane. Here we go, Mumu to looking to the inside. Surely got to look to the inside here to try and take the position off of Miller's. Can he get it? They're side by side. Neither of these cars from this millennium. As they go to the inside with Mumu, he's ahead. He is still ahead. He's got to get a good exit. He is going to get a great exit. And he is up ahead of Miller's. Miller's has got problems here now with Perry, the American, trying to make a lunge to the inside. Doesn't get it. But he is going to be under fire for a large amount of time now. Don't really know if Perry's got the ability. Well, if Perry's got the ability to make this stick. He definitely had the opportunity. Looked like rain. I don't see this. It looked like rain. Oh, that could be very interesting. I don't see the windscreen wipers going yet. If there is rain on the radar, this could get very interesting. I think Mortal just got a second penalty. Mortal did just get a second penalty as he was trying to catch up to his teammate. That's not going to end very well. Mumu has cleared Miller's by quite some distance now. There you go. So we're up in the sixth of Mumu in front. All of the guys in front of him are on soft tyres for the moment in time. Mortal's going to drop back off this group. And this is going to be very close as we head down the first straight. Not sure whether or not Mortal's going to get overtaken here, but we're going to focus on this battle. On the battle between Miller's and Perry, because Perry should look to the inside here. Perry is going to pull to the inside here. Perry should have to move. And he will have to move. And that is another place lost for Miller's, but he is on a different compound of tyre. I'd like to stress that point. But the more time he deals fighting the soft tyre runner here, the worse it's going to get. If there was rain right now that had brought out the intermediate tyres or something of that nature, Miller's would be screwed. So would Rabak. It would be absolutely horrendous for FGR right now if there was rain. There hasn't been any rain so far, and it doesn't look like we're getting any at the moment either. We will continue to monitor the situation. All three of the drivers at the back quite tailed off. If we can, try and keep it as English as possible. If not, then feel free. It's just that it allows some... but yeah, I'm not going to police it. I'm not going to police it, that's for certain. Matty, 2 seconds off the back of Jensen. Jensen, 5 seconds off the back of BX. So BX has definitely made a run in this in this stint, the second stint. We've got Skyline and Berger as well. Berger up ahead of Skyline. Was there an overtake in the last period of time here? It looked like there may have been. Berger to the inside here. We'll go and deal with Jensen's penalty in a minute. Berger to the inside of turn one. And he does get Skyline. It makes it look very easy in the process. We're going to come back to real life now. Oh, see. Nope, nothing for Jensen right now. Unless that was what caused that gap in the first place. That 5-second advantage for BX may have been just the Jensen penalty. But either way, still comfortably ahead of Matty and nothing really changing at the front. Yeah, he just served it. That's what I figured out later in my thought process there. Skyline 1.5 ahead of Mumu, and then we got Miller's all the way down in 9th now, overtaken by Harlex as well. It's all good. We all do. We all... I'd about to say, we all speak different first languages in these chats. Be hard pressed to find many people who's able to speak the first language as English as well as everything else. But, you know, Harlex half a second penalty. Miller's is going to have to get him back now. Miller's looking to that inside. 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 Miller's looking to It doesn't look like he's going for it now. He might go for it down into turn 1. However, he will go for it down into turn 1. Gets it on the exit of turn 1. Well done for Millers to take that position right back. Syndra and Mortal are fighting in the background, so that's where that penalty has placed Mortal against his own teammate. Rabak on own. Nick not really doing much of anything. Jensen still comfortably ahead of Matty. 3 seconds is the gap now. And they're 4 seconds ahead of Berger, who's currently in 4th and is closing that gap down. And it's going to be very interesting here, because Skyline obviously pit a lot earlier than everyone else. Which means he's now going to be in the firing line very quickly here. I'm going to be very interested to see how quickly it takes Mumu to get past Skyline. Skyline's starting to struggle, you can see it as we go on. I'm going to be very intrigued to see how long it's going to take. There's Berger up ahead as well, so this is actual, the Berger will be actual positions he'll fight for. And as we know that NWR need every bit of point that they can get today. They're down a driver. They need to be damage limitations, though. Try and take some points out of FGR, get as close as we can get in the final race of the season and see if we can get some sort of a grandstand finish. I don't think we will, however. Been almost 100 points in the gap to start with. Let's see if we got any sort of fights. These are 3 teammates right beside each other, so penalty to be right beside each other in the end. The Skyline 3 times to a second ahead of the Silhouette. So we are going to resume this battle. We are going to resume this battle immediately then. See whether or not there could be a move. And it might be a move now, because we got Mumu down the inside. Is there a good enough exit for him to challenge Skyline here with the far better tyres? Gonna have to go the long way round to do it. Gonna have to go the long way round in the following corner as well. I think there's contact. There is definitely contact, and he's been reset. And we're gonna get a second view of that. Let's take a look between the two of them. Skyline and Mumu's on the outside. And Skyline just hung it in. Oh, and yeah, that is... Oh, and he did get reset. That is incredibly unfortunate. It's going to cost him a bunch of time. All the way back toward the 2 Royal Kingdom drivers now. That is awful in terms of how he's going to have to avoid, get through this one now. That is not good news. Matty's back into the pit for the second time. I wonder what would have happened here if that had not happened. Mumu up ahead of Syndra. Up into 8th he goes now. He tries to fight it back with Millis directly in front of him again. The only problem now is that Mumu's going to have to get a lot of work done to just try and get himself back into the picture. He doesn't have the benefit of being on the medium tide like Millis currently is. He's on the soft, so he's currently fighting for position the entire way down the list. Oh, Skyline Perry up ahead of Skyline now as well. So Perry lets the Perry was gone early. Make that move stick. 1.3 seconds the advantage there. So Berger 4 seconds ahead of Perry, 8 seconds behind Jensen, who's 4.5 behind BX. Alex is ahead of Millis by about half a second. Doesn't really look like there's a lot going on there either right now. We'll see. Millis just plodding in on Alex for now. Got Mumu behind that. He's actually going to have to find a way to get back into this. Just about to drop outside of that second gap as well. It's just enough about ahead of Syndra for now, though. Yeah, you've got to get Millis. He's got to get closer. That 1 second advantage right now. Skyline is back with the group as well. So the softs are just starting to fall off a little bit now. And this is where Millis is going to start thriving. Wonder whether or not that is going to affect the race now then. About 6/7 of a second. He's going to have to try and overtake Skyline. He's going to have to try and overtake Harlex as well. I assume these guys are going to go as close to the end of the fuel tank as they can get. Right now, I think that's still a couple of laps away, so Millis is going to have to get himself involved and make some overtakes actually stick. Berger 9 seconds off the back of Jensen. Now that gap keeps increasing ever so slightly. Alex getting a wobbly exit. It almost looked perfect, but it definitely wasn't. Here comes Millis, who might be in for an issue, in for an overtake here. And in comes Skyline to the pits. If Millis can get past Alex, he's got clean air. Well, the issue is he's not got the straight line speed of that Merc. He's going to have to send it to the inside at turn 1 if he even wants to try. He is poking his nose in there. That straight line speed of the Merc should get him in back in front. And it will. Alex is going to hold on. Alex is going to hold on there. Ahead of Millis for now. Looks like Millis just trying to get himself right into an opportunity against Alex. He hasn't really been able to do it yet, and it's going to allow Mumu to get back involved. I wonder where everyone's going to come out in terms of their pits, what the strategies are, and all that all that kind of thing in this second, in their third stints is what it will be. Millis looking the long way round on Harlex. Harlex is just surviving here. Mumu's trying to get involved. Mumu's going to the inside. Oh, and he's put himself on the inside, and I don't think Millis was aware, and he's caught him sleeping. Had every right to put his car there. Millis just did not see him. That's the only thing I could possibly go by here. Alex was well and truly outboxed. Mumu went to the inside there. Millis just tried to switch on the inside of Harlex to make that move. He did. He definitely caught out by Mumu's car being even further on the inside. And they go down towards turn 1 now. Mumu looking to defend that inside line against Millis. And these two side by side, and Millis is not going to win that battle. Mumu out in front of Millis for now. Battle between the three. What a move that was, by the way. Two Oil Kingdom drivers are not really pushing the boat out at the moment either. Those two are just going to be content sitting behind Millis for now. Currently 18 seconds off the back of Jensen. We'll be very intrigued to see what tyres other people have gone onto at this point in time. We're actually going to go double check that now, actually. Let's see what BX is on. BX is on another set of softs. Matty, a set of mediums. Perry on the softs. Skyline on the softs. That's where we're at. Mumu is still ahead of Millis for now. Wonder if that's going to continue on down this straight. That's oh, love it, contact between the two. The car sliding out there from Mumu. And he goes down the inside, and he might switch back. He will switch back because Millis just sent it just an inch too deep, and it's enough of a deep send to get punished straight away. Nice little move there. shifty little switchback from Mumu. It's a lapse of concentration from Millis again, just to really try and hammer home that position. That overtake just could not do it. So he's got to figure out a way to just figure that out now. Get himself that opportunity again, because you don't know when that opportunity is going to arise in this one. You got to take them while you have them. The glorious opportunity missed there for Millis. These guys still 5 on the back of each other, with BX very much trying to get himself involved with the pack. On another set of softs, he will probably go mediums late. Raback 1 pit stop less at this point in time. 5 seconds back on BX still. And Raback's going to struggle with that later on, honestly, trying to get himself involved in this. Jensen still ahead. Mortal into the pits now, so that's one of the group heading off, and BX won't get the benefit of slipstream as a result. Great news for Jensen, I assume. Mumu still defending well enough for Millis for now. Let's see if there's going to be anything. 0.5 of a second, really. I doubt there's going to be any fight back here from Millis at all. I don't think he's going to be anywhere near close enough, but they have cleared Harlex quite handedly at this point in time. However, that second now, as they try and get themselves in positions to break away. 7 seconds off the back of Berger. That's going to be interesting, because they were 9, they're now 7. The gap is coming down. I don't know whether or not it's coming down quick enough though, but they have a very long time between now and the end of the race to try and catch back up to the Inferno driver. See, Jensen into the pits now for the second time. Wonder what he's going to come out on. Mumu has cleared Millis 7/10 of a second, so this won't be a battle into turn 1. It might be a battle here, however. BX and Syndra down the straight. In comes Harlex. And BX is going to be up ahead of Syndra, so up in the 4th goes BX again. We'll see. It looks like BX very much ahead of the green and black now, and has done so. So Jensen is out on the medium tyres, and this is where things get interesting now then, because this was the second stop for Jensen. He's now on mediums. Raback obviously has made 1 stop less on mediums, so he'll have the extra stop at some point. BX is cruising out in front, but he's on another set of softs. I can assume that we're seeing a spam the soft strategy here from Project Platypus, so we'll see realistically how that's going to fare. He is right up on the back of Millis already. 1.7 seconds, it'll be the next lap he gets on to the back of these two properly in terms of trying to make overtakes. Mumu and Millis are still fighting as they go through the final sector. Millis has tired a lot better now. So the silhouette just starting to struggle. Well, if you're going to corner like that and get on the curb that much, you might struggle as well there, Millis. That'll be very interesting. I assume there's a pit stop territory here for the silhouette. And it is going to be pit stop situation here for the silhouette, as he comes in for his second stop. In comes Berger as well. Millis on the medium tyre stayed out. BX is out ahead of Syndra, who's got, well, BX is ahead of Syndra, who's got a half-second penalty. That brings him back towards Raback, but it won't bring him back enough towards Raback, who's currently 6 seconds further back. You're on 5 seconds off the back of Raback, and is about to have a fight with Jensen, I think. Matty is there. Matty ahead of Berger. Just about. Another set of softs here for Berger, so I reckon this is going to be a very quick move in the opposite direction here. I think it's medium tyres for the car in red for Moo here. We'll see if that is the case. Wonder if that is going to happen. We're coming into the middle of the second sector here. The longer we go, the more you'd assume that Berger's going to make that move. See if that is the case. I reckon it's going to be the end of the lap. They're bound down the main straight is where I reckon this is going to happen. It isn't going to happen here, not in the final sector anyway. 4/10 of a second currently split Matty and Berger. We'll continue to watch this battle, then we'll see if we can find anything else. That looked a bit wide. That looked a bit wide. Don't know if Matty's going to get punished for that. Syndra's into the pits. He isn't going to get punished for that, Matty, surprisingly. He is going to be under fire from the car behind. Here we go, Berger on the better tyre, getting the slipstream down the straight on the Ferrari here. Looks to the inside. There's no defence whatsoever from Matty here. Concede the inside line, and with conceding the inside line, this should be easier to get, and it is for Berger, who gets himself comfortably ahead of Matty into turn one. No fight back available here for the Ferrari either. Nope, none as they head into turn three. Is there going to be anything out of turn three potentially? That could be very interesting if there's going to be something here. Not sure there is going to be something there though. In the end, it doesn't look like there was. Matty is going to be overtaken. So Matty's going to get cleared now then from by Berger. Nick has just been overtaken by Moo not that long ago, and Moo 3 seconds behind Skyline. So the opportunity for him is going to come back sooner rather than later. We'll see if Skyline can hold on the inside well enough to actually not cause a collision this time. And Perry out in front of that. Currently 2 seconds ahead of his teammate. Berger 7/10 ahead of Matty. Not that far up the road. React is in first, yeah. Millis has come in. No, Millis is not in at the moment. Let's see how that happened. Can we see how that happened? Yeah, it happened into turn one. We're not going to get it. We just missed off the time. And so BX is overtaken for the lead. 52 minutes in. We're almost halfway. Almost halfway here then. Continue on in this one. Millis is still out there, hasn't pit for a second time yet. Let's see. Doesn't look like there's a lot going on track at the moment. We'll see if people are going to try and fight each other. Syndra and Rigo. Here we go. Let's have a look at this battle then. We'll see if there's going to be anything opening up for Syndra in this final sector. Inferno need to get the points. Inferno need to hold on to this position realistically, because he's not been in it much today, has Nick. But if he can get himself involved at some point in this race, I don't think he will be complaining too much. I think he has the chance to really get himself involved, holding up this Two Oil Kingdom team. The three at the back of the grid right now. There we go, Syndra to the inside. Can he get it? Syndra! No, too busy wobbling his car. Nick's gone wide. He's gone deep, and that'll allow for Sidra to just dive on through. Oh, it's unnecessary because Nick didn't need to make the mistake. Gun-forced error. Because Syndra would never go for it. Syndra had backed out, never really made the chance. And still picks it up nonetheless. Gets away with it in the end. Mortal 6 seconds out the back. That's not good news for him. Nick is going to be under fire again from Alex. We'll see if there's going to be any move here on for the Norwegian. We've just seen one Norwegian go past. Let's see if the other one can. To the inside here. Not happening. Not happening in this corner. Not into the beginning of the third sector. It looks like it might happen now. Here comes the outside line for Harlex as they go through the final sector. Deeps into the inside. Again, just not enough alongside to realistically do anything here. And it's going to suffer at the process. Is he? He kind of forced his way back onto the track against Nick. And the long way round. He's managed to get himself back in front. My shoulder has just seized up. That's never a good idea. Harlex looking for the long way round on Nick. Can he get it? Harlex just doing enough. How they're right now. Yeah, Harlex has got himself in front. BX 3-second advantage over Millis now. Apologies about that, I have to sort this shoulder out. Yeah, right now, Jensen 3 seconds behind Rabak as well. So we see the FGL boys currently second and third. They've got to get themselves involved just a little bit. The pit stops are just going to start shaking themselves out as we go further on. 35 laps through this race already. Out of the 67. Well, we've got not an awful lot to do. We are going to take that off the screen. Here we go, Ono and Berger. Looks like Ono just been overtaken by Berger. We can actually get a look at that. They're not going to fight each other into turn one. Berger does get a run out of the final corner, and it is just a team order switch by the looks of things. That'll allow for Berger to be up ahead of Ono and a little bit further clear of Matty. Matty on the medium tyres, however. Berger on the softs. See if that is going to influence things later on, because obviously if you run medium by this point, you don't have to run another tyre compound once you move on to the softs, which you're inevitably going to do. If you've used only the softs up to this point, you're forced onto the mediums at some point in this race. Which means you've got to see the strategy start to play out in front of your eyes and kind of get it right. Hope you're right and everyone else is wrong. Let's see. Nothing happening out in front yet. Rabak's 2.2 ahead of Jensen now. Jensen is just starting to close that gap in. About a second or two. I don't even know if it's a second or two a lap, but it's about 8/10 of a second a lap by the looks of things right now. Miller's 13 seconds up the road from that. Done one lap pit stop up to this point as well. I think it'll be very interesting. I am very intrigued to see how this is going to all play out, because obviously Millis is going to start pounding through the soft tyres at some coming toward the end. see if there's 1.4 now between Rabak and Rabak and Jensen. 1.2, 1.1. The end of the lap is going to see a massive fight between these two. Definitely going to see a fight between these two right at the end of the lap here. Rabak's got a job to do. I don't know how well he's going to realistically be able to do it. Let's see, because right now, or is he coming into pit? He's come to move off the line to start with. Here's a pit stop. No, there isn't. Jensen's going to run right up the back of him now then. Jensen right to the back of Rabak as we go to the inside with the Mazda. Dives one way, comes back the other. Jensen on the inside. Makes it look easy and is up ahead of Rabak. Dispatches one of the FGR boys fairly comfortably there. That, I believe, may have been for actual position, because Rabak is doing the same thing as Millis has gone long. That's a penalty for Rabak as well, so any chance of fighting Jensen back is well and truly dead. Jensen's going to enjoy a little bit of clearance straight away. Not if you're going to drive like that, however. Almost slid his car the entire way through the middle sector of Fuji. Just got to get away with it. Well, just got to get away from Rabak here. He will down the main straight. He's got to avoid any shenanigans before that. Let's see if that is going to be the case. Yes, 8 tenths of a second now to head through the final sector. Rabak really isn't going to have any chance to influence Jensen anymore. There goes Rabak's penalty then. 1.2 seconds before it. 1.1 now, and there's the half-second penalty, which will take that over the 2-second mark. Jensen now has a little bit of daylight to work with. Very good, not that far back there either. And then we've got Matty. We're being followed by Perry and Mumu behind that. This is interesting. See what they can do in regards to that position. Matty obviously part of the FGR crew. There's two in behind, the two directly behind FGR in the title race, so they potentially might even work together a little bit here if they get close enough. Try and dispatch Matty early. Real only problem for Perry is he really is not staying out much longer, which means we're going to get the silhouette versus the Ferrari here in a small period of time. Not entirely sure. Here we go. Can he get himself close enough, realistically? BX is in for another stop. I wonder where BX is coming out then. Maybe to the end on mediums from here, which could be bold. We know that Millis will have to do at least one more stop. Perry is into the pits now, so the chance of an overtake may have just disappeared down the well for this lap. Yep, and it has. There's BX actually coming out the pits onto a set of softs. And is out ahead of Matty. And now gets a chance to charge down Berger all over again. Rabak 7 tenths ahead of Berger, so Rabak is going to have to potentially do a job here. Again, just trying to hold people up. He is well and truly struggling now on those tyres. He's about to run out of fuel in the next lap or two as well, so he really is struggling. we go. Rabak still half a second up on Berger. They head into the final sector. Looks like this might be an opportunity for Berger right at the end of the lap. Right at the end of the lap, down the main straight. If he can get it good enough into turn one, he should be able to deal with Rabak here. Rabak going very wide up the top of the hill there. And he's not even going to wait. He's not even going to get the chance to wait. They're side by side down the straight. Berger should get this, and he will. The real question is, had he done it a little bit too early? Rabak now going to fight him to the inside. Don't forget, Berger will still be able to make his one move, his defensive move, if he chooses to do it. I think there may have been a little contact between the two, and Berger will hold on. We're going to go a little bit further back as Mumu on the outside of Matty. These two, the brake lights come on effectively the same time. I don't think Matty has got that line right in any way, shape or form, and he's going over the AstroTurf. And the NWR car dispatching with ease in the end. Matty making the error, going deep, and in turn, well, sliding all over the place in the first sector. And now has to try and fight all the way back against Mumu again, which is going to struggle. But he has used the medium tyres now, as the Romanian, but the guy in front I don't believe has. So we'll figure out how the strategies are going to play out as we continue to go along here. That's the real question. No one really knows what the actual strategies are going to play out to be right now. That's what I am very, very intrigued to be involved in at the moment. 1 second now, the advantage for Mumu. Miller's into the pits. It is time for the FGR boys to make their second stops. And now things will get very interesting. Is this another set of medium tyres? I don't think you can go soft to the end from here. Is this another set of medium tyres? If it is, they're two stopping this race, and that could give them a massive advantage. If others have to still pit again, because softs for BX, Berger's on one softs. Somewhat more mediums here for Jensen, who now had the lead of the race. I think Jensen might try and take this, only have to pit once more. We are going to have a very interesting race here. The Syndra and Skyline, not that far away from each other as well. Skyline 7 tenths up. The softs are wearing quite rapidly at this point in time. Only 18 seconds off the back of Jensen, however. Half a second still splits them. We'll continue to watch this up until a move has been made. We'll see if that's going to happen in this third sector. He's going to have to try and... Well, actually, he probably won't make anything up until the back straight if he got sense, but if the opportunity arises, I don't see him not taking it. He isn't going to get it before this final straight then. He is going to get it out, because that is a much better corner from Syndra than it was Skyline. And it's already kicking in, the slipstream, as we head down toward turn one. I don't really see a way Syndra gets, doesn't get an overtake here. Pulls to the inside, goes for the move. Syndra's got ahead for now. He's pulled himself in front into the corner, and Skyline has no answer. Or will he? He got himself alongside to get out of turn two, but it is very short-lived. And Syndra in the GTR is going to hang the inside and very much hold on to the position against Skyline that he took in the prior corner. Up into sixth goes Syndra for now. Skyline not going to have any chance of fighting this back. BX and Berger right beside each other now. We'll see if there's going to be anything here potentially for a move for BX at the end of the straight. Everything seems to be coming down into that first turn. I am intrigued because I think it might be about to the final pit stops for a couple of people. BX almost lunged to the inside there. I think Mumu's got a penalty. We'll have a look at Munilis in a minute. Once we see BX go by, there's a penalty for Mumu in behind, so Matty might get a chance to be involved again. BX to the inside. Up ahead of Berger. Is he going to fight this back into turn one? Mumu's losing time up behind. And BX is going to hold that one. So Matty, not close enough. Skyline into the pits again. Millis has come back out onto another set of medium tyres. So he should be going to the end from here. It's interesting. Two-stop race here for Millis. A lot of it done on that medium tyre. Well, it's in the option of other people to just spam the softs for as long as possible. He's in 8th right now. Rabak's in 13th. Nick is 6 seconds off the back of that. Skyline is coming in. See what he goes on to in a minute, but Rabak is going to clear him anyway. Rabak comfortably here behind Perry. It is PS5, yeah, GT. It's GT7. And there should be a link in the Discord if you want to join the Discord. If you have a team, feel free. We're accepting sign-ups for the next season. If you don't have a team, then feel free to get contact with any of the teams you currently see on the screen. And if you join the server, you'll probably get more access to a couple of the esports teams to see if they want to pick up an esports driver, etc. for the rest for next season potentially. They only got one race after this, and it's the same 5 teams you're currently watching on your screen. If they currently fight out for a title here, FGR looking to go back to back. I think that might be the first time we see a back-to-back if that happens, actually. It would be the first time we see a back-to-back if that is actually going to happen here. Wow. Looking to create ALR history here is FGR in this race and then next week as well. Here comes Perry on Ono. Can he get past Ono down into turn one? Ono moves back to the racing line. There's the one move made. Can he get himself... Well, Perry's now going to switch to the inside, surely. And there goes Perry's move to the inside of the first corner. And Ono doesn't have an answer. Made his move a little bit too early there, I think, Ono, if he wanted to try and genuinely defend that. Perry's going to say thank you very much. Got Mortal there, 4 seconds behind Millis, who's very much running a race on his own at this point. Still got pits for a couple of drivers in front of him, but he is in 8th. So that's going to be a tough ride for him later on. He's going to pit sooner rather than later as well. Mumu is I think I know who that is. I think I know who you are, Kieran. If you're still in the server, then feel free. This is GT. This is Esports series in GT. I don't know if you're still in the server. If you are, then you have a rough idea how the server works already. You've been in it for F1. Not a lot has changed. Matty into the pits, Sindra into the pits. And Jensen 5 seconds ahead of BX for now. These two, I believe, are actually going to be fighting for position. I don't think there's going to be many more pits between them, if at all. Millis is going to the end, so we'll see a large chase down on Millis later on from a lot of the drivers. Let's see, BX about 4.5 behind Jensen. I don't really think there's going to be a lot there. He's clearing Berger more and more each lap. Mumu is 5 seconds off the back of Berger, so we'll see if that gap can come down a little bit. Got more tyres as well. You'd imagine that there's one more stop in it for him. wonder. Alex, 13 seconds off the back of that. There's still a few pit stops to be made, I think. And one of those aren't for FGR, so we'll get a very good look at where FGR actually are sooner rather than later. He's right on the back of Alex. That might not be a move long in the making at this point. There's Mortal in the back of the field, back of the shot there as well. Let's see. Whilst we actually have nothing, we're going to do this again just because we actually have to. I don't know if I have to do the whole thing, but that's the one way I know to get rid of the please refuel on the screen, so we do it that way. 3.9 currently the advantage for Jensen. That gap is coming down more and more each lap. Well, it's not really making an indent. Perry up ahead of Ono, Babak and Matty. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. I assume this is going to be a bug draft in the team orders. If they're even going to take that, because Matty is now up ahead of Rabak. They're both on the medium tyres now. I think they're both going in the end as well. That's not good news for Matty if he's ended up way back here. Skyline on the medium tyres, I assume, to the end. Syndra there as well. Nick on the soft, he'll have to pit again. And Rabak and Matty, and then Ono will have to pit again as well. They are only about 10 seconds behind Ono. Perry on the soft will have to pit again at some point in this race as well, but needs to build up as much of a gap over FGR as he can, so he can try and get himself in a position to fight for places later on. Mortal will have to pick, he doesn't have enough fuel to go to the end. Berger's now into the pits. This is going to be interesting now then. Mumu stayed out. Berger's gone in. 3.2 now splits the lead. Not a lot of fighting right now until the pit stops kind of even themselves out. Let's see, Berger coming out the pits. Is it going to be soft or is it going to be mediums for him? I assume it's mediums if he's going that high in the fuel tank. I assume that is going to the end then for Berger. This really hasn't put any dent into Alex at all here. Berger out behind his teammate and out. I think that looked like about 7 seconds clear of Matty. Mediums potentially to the end as well, so he's cleared Matty. And Inferno have a couple of places on FGR here. Could use himself to try and give Ono a little bit more of a buffer, but Ono is well and truly losing the ground rather than gaining it. Oh, that looked a little bit wild there from Berger. A little bit wild there. We'll see how that ends up faring. It looks like he's avoided a penalty, just a little bit, maybe kept a half a wheel at most on the curb there. Mumu's into the pits now then, so I assume this is going to be Mumu to the end of the race. And in that scenario, how close is he going to be to Millis? How close are they going to be to Matty and Rabak as well for that measure if he is that far back? Millis has already gone, so it's definitely not Millis he's catching. It might be the case he might have to go after the other two FGR drivers. Forgot the words for a second then. He's coming out, 83, down the straight. Is he out ahead of them both? He is out ahead of them both. Mumu has cleared Matty and Rabak. And Berger's the next name up. Not a bad sign in the slightest. At the moment then for Mumu then, he's managed to get himself back into a position where he actually is position and take a bunch of positions away from FGR. He's 4 seconds behind Berger. And 6 seconds of Perry in front of that, but we know Perry's going to pit Mumu to the end, Rabat's to the end, Matty to the end. I think everyone in the back here is now all to the end, apart from Nick. So Nick is the only person in the back here not going to the end. That looked a little bit shaky there for Matty, so any chance of that gap getting a little bit shorter is just dissolving by the second. 2.1 now, the gap between those two. Mumu can get himself up to speed, try and charge down Berger here. Bearing in mind, they need all the points they can get. All the points they can get here, NWR. They need every single last one they can get. Harlex now still ahead of Millis in all of this somehow. Not entirely sure how he is, but he is. And Millis is currently 30 seconds down on the front two. We both know who we know. We have both got to pit. They have both got to pit by the end of this one. This could get interesting. This could get interesting. Harlex and Millis then. The more time Millis wastes behind the Norwegian, the better it is to the front two. I don't think he's going to be wasting an awful lot of time behind him anymore. Harlex did not get a good exit. And I'll tell you one person that did. It's the German behind him. Here comes Millis. To the inside. Harlex is staying out once again. Again, Millis just does not have enough speed outside of the slipstream to really test the Mercedes. He is going to have the brakes to test him though, but has he gone a little bit too deep? I think he might have. He has, and Harlex is going to survive again. Millis with another golden opportunity squandered, but is he going to get it again in the next corner? Again, just a little bit deep, but he is going to take advantage of that one. He finally got ahead of Harlex, not really letting it go this time. Let's see, is Harlex going to have any sort of fight back from Millis whatsoever here? I don't really know if he is. I really don't think he is. Yeah, he's running out of shot. Here comes Jensen into the pits then, so this is going to be interesting to see how he really gets, where he really is compared to Millis then. I am very intrigued to see where he's going to come out. There's the fuel starting to go in. Here comes Millis down the home straight. I can only assume this is softs to the end. Or is it? It is going to be softs. 67% in. Is he out ahead of Millis? He isn't, but he is going to be right there with Harlex. He goes to the inside of Harlex straight away and wastes no time whatsoever. If this is one to the end for Jensen, Millis is in trouble. Genuinely, if this is one to the end, then they are in a huge, huge amount of trouble here to try and win this race here with Millis. Harlex not going to be able to do anything about it. Jensen already 1 second clear. Millis 7/10 of a second further up the road. We're almost hitting the 1.5 hour mark here of this race. About 15 laps left on the clock. BX 30 seconds up the road of either driver. We know that 30 seconds is maybe just about enough. Worst comes to worst, it'll bring him about 2 seconds behind the cards that are currently on screen right now. Jensen's going to be slightly too far away to really do anything here. At this point in time, he almost tried it into turn one. Had to go a little bit deep to avoid it. Jensen still 0.6 of a second behind Millis for now then. BX still in control. BX is about to go on to the final stop for his race. It becomes very, very interesting if he is able to hold on here, BX. I'm very intrigued. Alright. 0.4 of a second. Still there for Jensen ahead of Miller, behind Miller, sorry. BX is now into the pits. BX is now into the pits. So this is where things are about to get very, very interesting. Where is BX coming out into in respect to these two? And where is Jensen going to try and make his move? So Miller's 0.2 of a second up the road right now. But the opportunity is going to arise for the Mazda to take the lead of the race. And Millis is very much shutting that off. And BX has come out on the medium tyres with a lead. Millis has gone so deep that he's going to allow for the switchback. Jensen on the inside. Beautiful move. And this is an awful place for anyone not named Jensen to be right now. The tyres for Millis are going to fall off. BX is on the freshest tyres of the three. But the issue for BX is it's not the yellow wall tyres behind. It's the red. And Jensen's going to go to the inside on BX to try and win this race. BX just kind of being there on the inside of the following corner allows for Millis to fight it back. Millis had a second penalty, so he's not going to really play too much more of a factor outside of this third sector. Millis is down thereabouts for now, but Jensen isn't even going to wait for the penalty. Jensen to the inside, gets himself back in front of Millis, and now it's back to a two-horse race. Millis is going to drop off after that penalty. Jensen is now coming back with a little bit of vengeance on BX. That soft tyre definitely the advantage at the moment. Can he get himself into a position to realistically take the win of this race? And Millis is now going to serve his second penalty. That 3 times gap going to go up potentially above 2 seconds here. Fuji is one of the most unforgiving penalty lines as well. Is there enough here for Jensen? Enough in the tank down towards turn one? No, he doesn't go for it. Does not go for it into turn one. Out of turn one, maybe. He is looking every single time he can get the chance to try and find a way past the Project Platypus car. NWR would need this badly right now. We'll go through and we'll take a look at who's where in a minute. Jensen trying to force a move here. Can he get it done? He's going to look to the inside of BX here. Comes back inside as we head now into the third sector. 0.2 of a second, 1/10 of a second. He's going now! He's going now! He's on the inside and he's got him! The real question now is, can he get enough of a gap for this straight not to matter? And then it's the second question after that is, can he get enough of a gap for when those softs start to fall off for it to not matter? BX 0.3 of a second, there may be an opportunity. Maybe an opportunity here to try and figure something out. Down towards turn one, BX looks to that inside line, dip back in, doesn't really see the opportunity that's potentially had arisen there. Miller's 2.3 seconds. Well, Miller's is now 3 seconds off the back of the two at the front. Matty ahead of Rabak, ahead of Sindra. Mumu is all the way down in 10th. I'm not entirely sure what happened to him. I think he may have just came out late. We'll see if he can get Skyline then. Perry into 11th, Mortal 12th. It's not been a good day at the back here for the two Inferno drivers. Mortal looking at Perry. These two know each other very, very, very well. It looked like Mortal to the inside had got him. Mortal had got him on the inside there, and Perry drops to 12th. Mumu should get Skyline. I don't know if he'll get anyone further than Skyline, however, because it's soft tyres on Harlex's car, mediums on Sindra, and then mediums for Rabak and Matty as well. Berger in 4th, comfortably clear. The front 4 have managed to get themselves very much away. We'll see if there's going to be anything. There's no 13 seconds here for Berger, but out in front, Jensen's got a second gap. Jensen has got that second gap. That slipstream isn't going to really kick in that much more. It's all about building as much of a gap as possible now for Jensen. The NWR needed to win this race. They also realistically needed FGR to have a nightmare, and they haven't really done so. Only 5th, 6th and 3rd. It's definitely not what we'd call a nightmare. Consistently solid all the way around the entire season has been FGR. Yes, that is a very, very, very tough combo to beat. Wonder whether or not they're going to get caught here. I reckon Harlex might be able to get both the FGR boys here in the 10 laps that remain. That didn't sound too good, I'll tell you that much. 1.4 now the lead. 6/10 of a second between the two Kingdom drivers. I don't really know if there's going to be much in this for Skyline either. I think Mumu might be able to snatch a couple of extra points if he can get close enough to Skyline. There may still be enough time to try and catch Cinder up ahead as well. He just needs to try and advance forward, try and get as many points as he humanly can. But it's a very rough time for him at the moment. I don't really think there's going to be able to sneak that many more points out of this one. Harlex is now ahead of Syndra, so there's the opportunity. About 5 seconds now, the gap between him and Mumu. For 8th place, so that's where he's got to try and aim for. I don't really know whether or not that's going to be a possibility, however. He's closing in on Skyline rather rapidly. Harlex is closing in on Rabat rather rapidly as well. I reckon Harlex might be able to snatch positions off both FGR drivers if he can nail these final couple of laps. I wonder if the opportunity is going to arise. 1.6 seconds now the advantage between Rabak and Harlex. Very surprised if that doesn't actually provide an opportunity here. Alright, might do it by the end of the next lap at this rate for Harlex to make a move on Rabak. Head up into the 3rd sector. That gap is about to come below 1 second. Definitely going to come below 1 second now. It's got within 8/10, or just within 9/10, sorry. Rabak definitely having a better corner there. Not a better exit. Might come down towards 8/10 of a second now. There goes Harlex, 6/10 of a second. Now separates the two of them. It won't be this lap for Harlex down into turn 1, but it might be the next one. It might not even wait to turn 1 on the next lap. Three tenths of a second, Alex. Just not close enough on this straight to really put the sword to Raback. And down into turn 3, he might get the opportunity. He could have just gone to the inside here. He could have focused, trying to open up the move, but he took one too many looks. I don't really think he should have come back in. That might have been a little bit of contact between the two of them. I don't really know whether or not that looked like a puff of smoke. Either way, Harlex is going to run the inside now. And the long way round to the following corner. They're going to go back and forth. We saw how this doesn't end well earlier on. Is it going to end well now? Harlex just beaten out by Raback for now. He might not be beaten much longer. There's another little bit of contact between the two of them. Harlex is still trying to round the long way. And again, every single time he tries to switch back, he's put himself on the outside. He's really given himself the opportunity to only realistically do this down into turn 1. Oh, right now with that exit. Oh, he backs into the slipstream, but this should be an easy move into turn 1. And see Matty ahead as well. He might be about to take a bunch of points off of FGR. There we go. One position of Harlex. Raback not going to be able to fight this back. Well before turn 1 even hit for Harlex there. 3 seconds is the gap between him and Matty, and the soft tie not really dropping off. Mumu and Skyline are going after each other. Mortal's here as well. Anything Mumu might be about to get might be about to fall by the wayside very quickly. Well, that's going to be a very disappointing time for NWR then, isn't it? Let's see. Is there going to be anything in this? Mortal got past Mumu. Mortal got past Mumu. We're going to see if we can figure out where that was. I looked away for a split second and he just gets by. Mortal to the inside. And Mumu never even tried to defend it. Just gave it straight to Mortal as soon as he could. Mortal just going to blow by Skyline as well. A really not good position for NWR to be in back here. Mortal is a little bit wide there. I'd assume, is this close enough for Mortal realistically? That might be a little bit close, you know. I don't really know if that's enough room for Mortal to really do anything with. 2 tenths of a second and they head down towards turn 1. Is there going to be a late one? No, there is not going to be a late one. Mortal doesn't go for it. He doesn't go for it at all. Surprising. Could have potentially gone. Try and done something down into turn 1 there, but decides against it. And Skyline will hold on for a little bit longer. Mortal getting a nice tight line there. He tries to get himself in a position once again to try and get a move on Skyline, clear some distance. I wonder if there's going to be any opportunities down before the end of the sector for Mortal. I don't think there is. I think he's going to have to wait down toward the end of turn 1 now then. Or is the fight a little bit further forward? Which we will go and see actually. And I think it's Harlex and Matty. It is Harlex and Matty. Looking for a top 5 finish here for Harlex. Hasn't really hit the heights that he did last season. But he might be looking to put that to bed now. Matty's going to try and fight him to the inside, but there's nothing left to fight him with. Or is there? Nope, Harlequ's closing it off, and Harlequ's is into the top 5. FGR loses out a couple of places there. Berger has closed Millis down, but not by an awful lot. That gap isn't really going anywhere. BX is 6 seconds up the road. There's definitely nothing happening for Millis in this one. He's going to have to settle for 3rd then. And Jensen is 4.5 seconds up the road. So unless those tires are going to spontaneously explode, I don't really think there's going to be much of a grandstand finish to this race. Jensen had done exactly what he needed to do. He had a team that turned up for qualifying. He may have got very interested in this one. I wonder what's going to happen here in the last couple of laps here then. This is lap 62 of 67 at Fuji. We are now ranging into the 1 hour 40 minute times on this race. Mumu is right behind Skyline. If he's going to get the chance, it's going to be down into turn 1, or is it going to be now? Bear in mind, these two have history in this race on its own. Never mind history at all, the rest of the season. Mumu is going to go to the inside. He's pulled alongside, looking for that position. Is he going to get it? He has to go back for the second dose of slipstream. He's going to pull out, try and go into turn 1. Oh, he gets him. I don't really know what happened there. I think there may have been some netcode contact there. That did not look like he hit him at all. But he did bounce off, and Skyline is going to go back behind his teammate now. And I think that looked like netcode. However, we might see that one in the stewards later on. 1.4 seconds up ahead of Mumu, 3.4 behind Sindra, who is right on the back of Rabak. And the pain for Rabak might not have ended yet. We'll see if there's going to be anything here. Matty's 4 seconds up the road, so I think he's going to be protected regardless of what happens. But for now, Rabak definitely is not. Sindra has better tyres than him. He is on the same compound. Mortal, however, has better and is on a softer compound. So we will see how this shakes out. In the last couple of laps here. We are 64 of 67 now. Which means we've got 4 to go. Rabad's going to have to defend position for 4 laps. That's what he's going to have to do. Sindra's got within a second. Mortal is very much within picture. The big one is if Mumu can get close enough. Right now, 7/10 of a second. Sindra is closing corner on corner on corner. The opportunity is going to rise for Sindra here at the end of turn 1. Is there going to be anything in this? 8/10 of a second, 9/10 of a second. So Sindra just losing the ball in the beginning of the 3rd sector here. Going to have to fight that back. He's going to have to get closer to Rabak than he currently is if he wants to make a move on the next lap. If he wants to make a move at all, he'll be struggling with the way he's currently going. He has cut it down to 6/10. It won't be happening on this lap then. Five tenths of a second now between Rabak and Sindra. They get a lot closer each time they go around. Mortal also getting closer and closer. 1.9 there. Splits them about 9 tenths quicker than Sindra on the last lap. And even further, 1.2 clear of Rabak. So there is an opportunity for Mortal to get involved here. Also an opportunity for Mumu, but he might be too far back by this point. Matty is going to be very much safe. Syndra is going to make sure Rabak is going to have to fight to be safe if he is going to be safe. Syndra looks to duck underneath just a little bit there. He might have got a better exit. He might be alongside. Now he backs out of it. Again, the Norwegians are just starting to find their way through. It's taken them a long time in this race, but they have finally got themselves in with a footing in this race. So Rabak's in trouble. Rabak is going to be in trouble here in the end of this lap. He's not going to get. He's going to be struggling for the rest of this race. Realistically, he might lose out too. Here comes Syndra. Mortal is right down the back as well. 1.1 splits him and Syndra. If he can get slipstream now, he could get his help from his teammate to get past Rabak, and Rabak could lose too. That is a silhouette, not that far back. As well, here comes Syndra. Rabak goes to the middle of the road to defend. Syndra is going to try and go the long way round. If he got that, that would have been spectacular, but he has to sit again. And Rabak does well defending. Trying to figure out whether or not that was Matty's tyres there. I think he probably wants right now is a penalty. Rabak and Syndra. There we go again. Syndra's got another better exit, but there's just not enough at this point in time. May have gone a little bit too deep on the line. They're still really close together. 3/10 of a second split the two. There might be a move. Is Syndra going to go for it now? Is he going to wait? Like, Syndra's going to wait. The problem with waiting is that his teammate has now got himself involved. Both got to go for it. Realistically now, they're both running out of time. Oh, Syndra almost had an opportunity on Rabak straight away there. Rabak moves out of the slip. Syndra's just slowing up a bit now. Mortal is involved, but Mortal is too far back to give anyone a push. As we head on to the final lap, we are on 67 of 67 now. Around the outside goes Syndra. Syndra's off the track. Syndra is off the track. The silhouette's not going to be able to get close enough to do anything. We go round the last couple of sectors here. The last lap with Jensen and then WR are going to win this race. It's not going to do too much for the championship because of the rest of the team's situation. But Jensen has left no doubt in this one. He has cruised this one. This final couple of stints have been perfect, and he crosses the line to win in Fuji for NWR. BX gets second fairly well. Millis is coming to the line, who was in control for large portions of that one, just did too much on the mediums. He'll come across in third. Berger's had a very nice day at the office for Inferno. And he will come over the line in fourth. Harlex is going to be next. Down the line, he is going to be on top again. Top five again for 2 Hour Kingdom. He's done a very good job over the last couple of seasons. Matty's going to drive for 6th. He'll take that. And Rabak to the line. Is he going to beat out Mortal? The drag race is just going to sort Rabak over Mortal. And then Syndra beats Mumu in the end. And then Perry over Skyline. And then Ono's got a penalty, but he'll still beat out his teammate. As well as Berger did extremely well. And the other 2 INF drivers not so much around a very, very dry Fuji today. And after 1 hour and 49 minutes, We have a grid. We have a finished article here. It ends with Jensen on top of the world. BX in second, Millis in third, Berger in fourth, and Harlux in fifth. Round out your top five. Five different teams in the top five, which is absolutely insane, by the way. But with that being said, that really doesn't actually put an awful lot of a dent in the championship, for the 6th and 7th being both FGR guides. We have one more to go. We have one more race to go before we crown a champion. The real question is, will it be back-to-back? It's likely it probably will be by this point. But with that being said, we will see you guys at 7:30 next week, next Sunday, as we round out Season 6 of Esports. Peace.